Howdy folks, I'm Heroing Harpy, hostily haranguing harmful hypnotists.
I'm Amber.
And here are more harmful hypnotists for us to harangue, and why wouldn't we harangue them? I mean, that's kind of what we do. Oh, and folks, there's a live stream coming up on Friday. For more information, please see the end of the video. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Wife Why Our Daughter Doesn't Trust Her? Lurker here. So for the last few years, me, a 36-year-old, and my wife, a 34-year-old, have had a very strained relationship due to the way that my daughter and wife interact. It started when my daughter was 13. She came to her mother and confided her feelings about our family friend's son. My wife decided that this was too cute and shared and told everyone at a family barbecue, including the boy. This embarrassed my daughter, and I told my wife to stop as it made our daughter upset. But my wife justified it at the time because they were just kids. I've always known my wife has a hard time keeping secrets, but I thought that she would have at least tried since this was a touchy subject, especially for a growing teenager with her first real crush. After this incident, I started noticing things like this more, like my wife openly telling everyone our daughter's business. Admittedly, most of these incidents were unnoticed by me for years because they were usually conversations between my wife and her friends when I wasn't around, as she didn't like it when I interrupted girl time. However, I'm noticing it more now, like my wife telling everyone about my daughter's business, like texts, phone calls, and other secrets that she told her mom in the past when believing that they wouldn't be told. As everything progressed, my daughter started getting closer to me more, and I became the default parent who deals with medical issues, school drama, and crushes, which has upset my wife because my daughter refuses to have girl talk with her anymore and is usually cold and doesn't like to spend time with her. Well, my wife decided to try and punish our daughter after finding out that she got her first real boyfriend and wasn't told. Our daughter is 16 now, and I don't feel like it's necessary to punish her for these things when she has made a conscious decision to protect her privacy. I know that she still loves her mom, but I understand not sharing things that she doesn't want get spread around or blown out of proportion. I came home to my wife yelling at our daughter and demanding her phone, her laptop, etc., all over the situation, which made me very angry because my daughter was in tears and she is still my little girl and doesn't deserve to be punished over something her own mother caused. I told my wife to leave her alone and that we would talk, but I also told her to give back those items, which my wife refused on and started screaming at me in front of our daughter. Something that I don't like. I like to have a calm conversation away from our daughter to prevent making her feel scared or uncomfortable. Eventually, after multiple attempts to calm her down so that we could discuss this properly, she grabbed my arm and started digging her nails into my skin, and I had enough then. I started ranting about how she always told our daughter's business to people and how basically the whole family and friends around us knew everything about our daughter's personal life and medical history. And then I told her that it was her fault our daughter doesn't trust her anymore, which made my wife start crying and she locked herself in the bedroom while I started comforting our daughter and I went out to get her some dinner. But now I'm home and I'm getting some serious silent treatment from my wife and I'm wondering if I could possibly have said something different. But I'm tired of her blaming our daughter every time she doesn't get told something. Edit, I've read many of the comments talking about my wife and I'm seriously taking it all in. I really don't want my daughter to think that this is okay for her future husband to treat her this way. So I'm requesting that my wife attend therapy by herself before she can join me and my daughter in family therapy because I'm not putting my daughter in a situation where her mother will probably use the therapy session to punish her, which people have mentioned. If she refuses, I will look into separation because I have realized that my daughter needs her dad to keep her safe and she won't be safe if her mother is acting this way and normalizing this behavior. I'm scared for my future, honestly, but I am also hopeful that I can show my daughter that she is loved and safe. I will be sending my daughter to stay with her aunt for the rest of the week while I have this conversation because I'm not taking any chances that she'll have to listen to an argument between me and my wife. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, it's good that OP is stepping up now. What the wife is doing is inexcusable, and it is the wife's own fault that she's being shut out. You don't get to, repeatedly humiliate someone and then still be close to them and in their inner circle.
Well, and the thing is, like, when you tell someone in confidence, it's in confidence, right? And it shouldn't be something that you spread around. And the wife has proven that she is a unreliable individual and that she will share people's secrets. And I can't blame the daughter for not wanting to tell her secrets in that case, right? Because like no one wants to have their business spread around, especially when you're young and vulnerable and, you know, these things mean a lot to you, right?
Well, and like being a child does not mean that you have no rights or autonomy. It seems like the mom is like, well, she's a kid, so I can do whatever I want. No, you know, you should be sheltering and protecting her, you know.
Well, she really should be. And I feel so bad for the daughter in this situation. I feel bad for OP because it seems like OP is actually the one who's trying to handle this in a mature way, but the wife just can't accept it. And I think that she's reached a breaking point. And at this point in time, I don't trust her around the daughter, right? I mean, the way that she just attacked OP, like that was completely unacceptable.
Well, she feels entitled to the daughter's personal business.
Yeah.
And no one is entitled, like, you know, your kids are not your property. They're not things you can just, like, get whatever you want out of them, you know. Trust is something that has to be earned and maintained, and it's not something that you're obligated to just because I gave birth to you or whatever.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Secret Double 9239 says, not the jerk, but when your daughter gets her devices back, tell her to change all the passwords to her social media. Her mom is too involved in her business and is the true definition of your parent being your biggest hater. She is going out of her way to embarrass your daughter. And OP replies, don't worry, I got the devices back immediately after the fight because I refuse to punish my daughter for having a life outside of the family. I will tell her to change her passwords though. That is something that I didn't think of before, but I don't doubt that my wife would try this in a desperate attempt to find out things. And Wolfflow says, info, did you hide from your wife that your daughter had a boyfriend? Did she request it? Because it kind of sounds like you did. And that alone is an issue to talk out in therapy. Edit ad, I'm guessing the downvotes are from people who assume that this was me saying that OP is to blame. Obviously not. She's acting unhinged and the rest of the family is suffering. But keeping the milestone moments a secret for whatever reason is indicative of some underlying issue, reaffirming the need for family therapy here. And edit 2, I guess I was wrong because the downvotes cranked up after my edit. Would appreciate if anyone downvoting this, but upvoting my subsequent comments could give me a hint as to why. And OP replies, she never asked and assumed that our daughter was hanging out with friends. At one point, I wanted to tell her, but our daughter told me that she wanted to tell her mom on her own, and I agreed because I don't think that it's my choice to force her to tell anyone anything if she doesn't feel comfortable. I mean, I can say why that first comment is getting downvoted, because, like, the daughter should be entitled to privacy, and OP shouldn't feel obligated to tell their daughter's secrets to their wife.
Well, exactly it. Like, just because she's a kid doesn't mean that she is not allowed any privacy or autonomy.
Yeah. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Pointing Out How Much Salt My Mother-in-Law Consumes? My mother-in-law claims that she can't have a lot of salt. As a result, we're not allowed to add salt to any of the meals that we cook. We can't have salt on French fries, and we can't add salt to recipes that I cook, and she actively makes a fuss about anything over 500 milligrams of salt. She is also a chronic faker, and if there's something wrong with you, she has it. The best example I have is when I was pregnant, she tried to claim that she was having labor pains and cravings. She has been staying with us for the past 2 weeks, and she has eaten her way through 2 family-sized packs of potato chips and 6 to 8 small packs of potato chips. These are our snacks that we keep for movie nights with the kids, etc. They're for special occasions, but I went to get some the other day and they were gone. So she snuck into the kitchen to take them, as the kids can't reach them, and my husband would just tell me if he ate them. My son said that the other day he wasn't feeling good, and he's lactose intolerant, and he had grabbed the wrong milk, so he had a stomachache. And she instantly was saying that she wasn't feeling well as well. So it must be a stomach bug, and I pointed out that she probably wasn't feeling well because of all the salt that she had consumed over the past 2 weeks. She instantly recovered from her illness and demanded to know what I meant. When I told her that she had consumed a huge amount of salt in multiple bags of potato chips that she had eaten, she lost her mind and told me that I was a jerk for tracking her food consumption. I didn't think that I was in the wrong, and I wasn't actively tracking anything, but just noticed that they were missing, and she would be the only person to eat them. My sister-in-law told me that I was wrong for commenting on her food consumption. My husband said that she's mad because I indirectly pointed out her salt restriction is nonsense. So, am I the jerk for indirectly calling out her salt restrictions and that it's a nonsensical thing? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. And also, you can stop like catering your family meals around her. Like, it's fine if she can't have salt, and you can make her a portion of salt-free French fries. But there's no reason why you and the kids shouldn't be able to have salt just because she's restricting her salt intake and then eats all your potato chips. It sounds like she is ruling the roost, and she doesn't need to be.
Well, I wouldn't completely take the salt thing off the table, right? Like, she actually may very well not be feeling very well if she has eaten a lot of salt and she's not supposed to have salt and she's been on a restricted salt diet. Like, that's going to be something that is going to potentially have spiked her blood pressure. And blood pressure, can be one of these things where it can go up pretty quickly and stay up for a little while if you're not following your food restrictions properly. So it may have taken time to catch up with her. Whether or not she's feeling bad and has a stomach ache, I think is secondary to all of this, right?
Well,
Like,
and I was not saying that. I just mean like OP and the kids, and the husband don't have any salt restrictions, so
yeah.
there's no reason why they should be changing their entire diet to accommodate her.
Well, you can add salt after the fact. So if they really wanted to, they can add salt, I feel like. I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. I do think that setting aside a portion for her that's salt-free is fine, right? So I'm not disagreeing with you on that point. I just think that, like, you can add salt after the fact and it's fine a lot of times.
Sometimes French fries are better if they're salted to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, salted French fries are better if they're salted and fried then. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Salty Catty says, you didn't sit there with a spreadsheet logging her sodium intake. You just noticed that the chips disappeared and pointed out the obvious. If she's going to police everyone else's meal over salt, she can't also inhale bags of chips and expect nobody to notice. She's mad that you caught her in a contradiction. And OP replies, I seem to do it a lot, like the time that she told me that she was allergic to eggs, but then the next day got egg fried rice from the shops. Lol. And Medical Examination 65 says, you are a patient woman. And Only Pool 4063 says, she's deliberately doing it while expecting others to turn a blind eye. If I were OP, I would be furious. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Forcing My Daughter to Talk to Her Dad? My 14-year-old daughter is a lesbian. She came out to me over a year ago, and I have 100% fully supported her. My husband, her dad, has been clearly negative about all the LGBTQ community since it became more prevalent in our lives. For example, when I was her age, I knew next to nothing about the community. Nothing violent, but negative comments, saying that's wrong, getting disgusting, if gay couples are shown on TV, complaining about pride flags, etc. This has been as long as I've known him, and her entire life. In a huge fight, she ended up telling him that she had a girlfriend. He told her that she was wrong and that he hoped that she would grow out of it and that she would make better choices. He also, for some reason, said that there are countries where they kill gay people. Obviously, even though she knew that he wasn't going to be supportive as I was, this was a bit too much to take for both her and myself. She hasn't spoken to him since, and it's been about 3 months. I'm also very much angry with him and having issues myself and considering divorce. This is not the only reason. There has been a lot going on here, but this is something that I'm not sure that I can ever forgive. He claims that I should punish her for not speaking to him, that I'm to blame because I'm allowing this disrespectful behavior, and I need to do something to make her talk to him. I feel that it's not my problem to fix, and I refuse to punish my daughter for her feelings and for reacting to how her father made her feel. He has apologized to her and whatnot, and I've asked her what he needs to do to fix this. She says nothing. And I've also explained that this isn't the healthiest way to handle it, and also that she can't sustain this forever. She is currently feeling no differently and refuses to say anything. So am I the jerk because I will not punish my daughter? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, you can't punish kids into talking to someone. Like, the husband needs to re-earn her trust, and that may or may not be possible with how horribly he's treated her. But he is the one who broke her trust. It is on him to regain it.
Well, and also the comment that he made was really over the line,
Mm-hmm.
saying that pointing this out, like, yeah, I mean, he's right. people are persecuted for being gay in other countries, and that's not right, right? People should be free to live their lives as they want to. Just because he has a religious belief, and that's what it sounds like, a religious belief that this is wrong, doesn't mean that he gets to impose that on other people, right? And that's really what this boils down to. While he may have a problem with these things, he can just turn the channel. Like, if he doesn't like a television show because it has something on it that he doesn't like, he is free to turn the television off, right? He is free to turn the channel, right? I'm not saying he should be forced to watch anything that he finds objectionable, but he also can't expect his daughter to want to be around him or feel safe around him when he makes comments like this and, says, oh, basically like alluding to, in another world, you would be persecuted for these beliefs, right?
Right. I mean, it feels almost threatening the way he's saying it.
Yeah, it does. It very much feels like a threat, right? And I don't blame her for not feeling safe enough to talk to him, because this is a really, something that she wanted him to know about her, and he betrayed her trust immediately with the things that he said, right? No understanding, no saying, no trying to accept her for who she was, and instead being like, yeah, you know what, in another country, you would just be stoned to death right now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, that's just not a good way to start off on the right foot.
No, for sure.
And I think this may take years for him to be able to re-earn her trust. And that's really what it boils down to. Like, she's 14, and it may be some time. Like, you can't rush these things. And I think he's really just going to have to show that he is, not going to betray her trust in the future. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What might you call a dessert for adhesives?
Boxes, cardboard boxes. They love them. Adhesives really love cardboard boxes. They're delicious. You may not think so, but you don't have adhesive taste buds, and so you can't judge these kinds of things properly.
A pastry.
Oh, I see.
And it's National Baker Day.
And I have a special guest tea today. I have it's from David's Tea. It's called Shirley Temple. And much like Shirley Temple's, it is indeed alcohol-free, because I did not spike my tea with alcohol. This has currants, apples, hibiscus, rose hips, orange pieces, elderberries, with natural orange soda and cherry flavoring. I mean, I don't know, like, what they mean by soda flavoring, but it certainly doesn't taste like orange soda. Who likes orange soda? Kel likes orange soda. Is it true?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a reference for all the Saturday Night Live fans out there. We'll see. Somebody will get it. Somebody will get the Saturday Night Live reference. This tea, I mean, you can definitely taste the orange in it. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's not an overly strong tea, but this might also be because this is a very old tea, so maybe it's just kind of lost its potency. I mean, it's tart, it's kind of sweet, and tastes mostly of orange. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Terrific Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on parents and children's relationships.
Respect has to go both ways. You can't bully your child into respecting and trusting you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!